Hey, Nourison, welcome.
Come on in, see our home.
I'm Brad,
I'm Sean.
and we are back to the studs on social media.
So we celebrated our 30th anniversary last month, and 30 years ago we happened to be walking in opposite directions on Broadway and passed each other and caught eyes and smiled, and I was walking with a friend of mine towards the Gap.
And I was walking alone, and I thought, oh, he's cute, that guy half a block away.
That guy, that Yankees cap.
And I was like, oh, let me just keep looking at him. And
Well, wait. We passed each other, right?
yes,
And then we caught each other turning around.
I turned around to check out his ass, and he
uh,
caught me.
At the same time. So we laughed, kept going in opposite directions. And I thought, maybe I should turn around and look at this guy again. And he had and caught me again because he had stopped in the middle of a busy Broadway in front of a supermarket. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to go and say hello to this guy. He stopped to look at me like that.
Third time that I turned around to look and see how cute he was, and I was like, this time he was walking away. I just had to stop, cross my arms, and hope he would turn around a third time. And when he did, he saw me like, oh, he's for real stopping, as opposed to just walking away farther and farther. Yeah. And then he saw me, he's like, okay. And he came back.
So I walked back and said hi, and he said, hi, I'm Brad. That big deep voice of his.
And he said his in an Australian accent, which I thought was English at the time. So
we had a quick chat and
went on a date 4 days
later. We
later.
exchanged numbers, and Brad was producing a television show that I really liked at the time, a talk show, The Donahue Show, and he gave me his card, and it was gold embossed, and said, call me at work next week. So I called him at work on the Monday, and can I speak to Brad, please? Oh yeah, I'll just go and get him. Brad comes on the phone, he's like, hello? I say, hi, it's Sean. I told you never to call me here. Oh, he's funny, he's got a sense of humor, this is good. So the first thing he said to me was like, don't call me. It was funny. We went out on a date, and yeah, that was all that time ago.
Yeah.
That's how we met. When I was a kid growing up in the 70s, I became a teenager in the late 70s. Gay men were considered worse than murderers, more despicable than murderers. There were no gay people anywhere. They completely disappeared. There were none around, none at all.
In Australia?
In Australia, where I grew up, in the suburbs of Melbourne. And so to realise a few years later, or a couple of years later, that I was gay was like the worst thing I could possibly think about myself, because these people are the most despicable in the world. So it was a bit of a struggle to feel like I could come out, and that didn't happen until I started working as an actor in the industry, and I was surrounded. There were gay people everywhere, and I felt I could be comfortable to come out. And at that time, it was the beginning of the AIDS crisis, and gay people had to come out. If we were going to survive this incredible plague that was decimating us, we had to come out and stand up and be counted and demonstrate and let the world know that we were here and that we were dying in huge numbers. So Pride was the first, was the big political demonstration every year that we could go to and show our numbers and show that we were happy, healthy people who just wanted a chance to live in this, in this world that we were inhabiting.
Yeah. I think Pride for me in my world, Pride sort of began when I came out to my family, or I was outed to my family and had to tell everybody that I was gay. And suddenly I had to start living with them knowing that I was gay. And I think that was a big step, because suddenly I had to represent gay people to my family, which was a new thing. Suddenly I was the only gay person that they knew. And when they started, I think the Pride portion of it really kicked in when we had a daughter, and my family had to acknowledge that, oh, suddenly there's a grandchild in the family, and where did that come from? It came from Brad and Sean. Oh, my mom suddenly had to tell people that she had a gay son. So it was really watching my family spread the news of like, oh, they are gay, they are a family, and they are staying together. That was really a proud moment for me. It just continued to go on when my family started to recognize that we really are a couple, a family, and that we have a place here.
We've renovated probably 10 apartments, 2 houses in our 30 years together. And this one was the most complex that we ever did. And this one, we really pulled in all of the professionals. Whereas previously we've done a lot of the work ourselves and we've done it sort of really budget conscious. But this one, I don't know if it was the favorite so much as the most complex and the most rewarding to see it come together.
Yeah, this is definitely the most rewarding project that we've done together out of all of them because, you know, many of them were small one-bedroom apartments that needed a refresh. And you can do that pretty easily and quickly and cheaply, but this was a full gut all the way back to the studs. Everything had to start over. So satisfying, this one. This has been the biggest.
Yes.
Frustrating, this one. Expensive, this one. So it's a combination. Favorite? Yeah.
Actually, this area that we're looking at right now, there was a big question in my mind about I envisioned this living room area as being all white with black accents and wood accents. And Brad we always knew that we wanted to do the office over there with the doors that closes it up, which to me is a big wood area. Okay, well if that's going to be the big wood area, I didn't want this to be wood, and Brad wanted this to be walnut here, and so we went back and forward for a while, and then eventually he and the architect convinced me that it would be okay.
A lot of the things that we disagree on are smaller things like, oh, should it be this color or that color, or, you know, but I think a lot of the bigger issues we've figured out how we talk to each other and how we work together. And so a lot of the projects that we put together, we're like, what do you think of this? And like, oh, I like that, but what if we did this? Oh, so we'll build on each other as opposed to, I hate that we can't do that.
So I went and found this kitchen that I was talking about, 10, 12 years ago. And it was this incredible, it was this very expensive Valcucine Italian kitchen that was being sold for, a quarter of the price secondhand. And I'm thinking, is this crazy? I know we want a white kitchen, but is this crazy to just be buying a kitchen before we've even started the renovation? So I was just going, I'll ask Brad, see what he says. So come and have a look at the kitchen. And he was like, yeah, I think we need to buy this kitchen now.
Yeah.
So, it's about being inspired and then presenting it.
Yeah.
And seeing.
Please confirm that I'm right. Please tell me that I'm right. Yeah, well, like with 30 years together, you figure it out.
You certainly grow to like each other's tastes too, I think.
It's not like we're putting up a sports poster on the wall and going like, isn't it great?
Yeah.
So we figured out stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a couple of Brad lived on a farm in Ohio, grew up on a farm in Ohio that his mum lived in until she moved into an elderly home. But in this farm, there were, some really old pieces of art on the walls.
Rustic.
Art on the walls. And when one of them turned up here in this house, I was like, I don't know that has a place here.
Yeah, there are those.
But
yeah.
we found a place for it, yeah.
Go ahead.
We're going to answer some rapid-fire questions from Nourison Home. Okay. What is one thing in your home you can't live without?
A cup of tea?
Yeah, it's like a teapot for sure. Has to be it.
What design style gives you the ick?
Ooh. Anything sort of really elaborate and overdone, like we call them teacup queens, like doilies under stuff, doilies on television
That's
sets.
called maximalism now. They've got layers on layers.
Yeah,
that was wicked.
Yeah, the teacup queens give me the ick.
Who's more adventurous with color choices?
Ooh. Well, you can see we're pretty happy with blue.
I would say I am, because you wanted to paint everything in the house pretty white.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all the big colors in the house are because I pushed for it.
The big colors.
the big colors.
Who is the better planner? Him. I'm creative. He's production. Shiplap. No.
No.
That would be the design choice that we hate is
No.
shiplap.
Yeah.
Who's the most organized? Yes.
Who's the better cook?
Although, I will come back to this. For the first 7 years of our relationship, I cooked everything. And then Brad produced a television show called How to Boil Water.
I did 3 series for Food Network, and I learned how to cook.
And he learned a whole binder full of
Yeah.
recipes.
Who's the impulse buyer? That's Sean.
For sure.
Yeah.
I bought you on an impulse.
Yeah. Who has the green thumb? Me.
We both garden a lot, but he's the greenest.
Yeah. Favorite show to binge watch?
RuPaul's Drag Race. Just is. We didn't discover that show until COVID. Like, you'd think
Yeah,
we might have discovered it a little bit earlier, and there was like 13 seasons of it by that point. So COVID, we binge watched all of those seasons, and now
we fully caught up.
we're fully invested in RuPaul's Drag Race. Thanks for coming.
We'll see you next time.